adventures in workforce development. This episode is paperwork is important. So I've decided to touch on this because because of my own situation and when you request training. Paperwork is important, and when you say you want to request additional training, it's not verbal or emails. It's a specific format, a submission format that you have to have. In my situation, since I am in Cleveland and going through the Cuyahoga County, which is the state of Ohio, workforce, I'm doing, you have to do 10 jobs, Ohio labor market information in the school. So those are the three things in the packet. And oftentimes when we request additional training, we only do the packet for the initial training. So in my case, I made sure that I submitted all of the packet for every additional training that I requested. And it's very important to do that so that your request can get processed. See, when you don't do the paperwork correctly, it impedes the process. But I want to also discuss it from a different perspective of a being like an advocate. So, in my situation, or everyone's situation, you have either a training specialist and the person assigned to your case, like your caseworker. And if the more information that you have available, the more complete that the training specialist can serve as an advocate on your behalf. And you want your training specialist to serve as an advocate for you, because then you get more done. Remember, you are the customer, but you're not the employee. You're not in the pipeline. You have to see your training specialist as someone who's in the pipeline, in the infrastructure. He or she is the internal employee. They're the ones with the emails. They're the one with the resources to individuals, and they can talk you up to their colleagues or to management, and that would really let you be. So I'm going to go to my work bag and get the thing, a letter, because it was so sweet that he sent this. Here we go. I submitted one of mine today, and it was sweet. It's at the end. It says, "I fully support Ms. Jenkins' request for funding to complete the program. She's been extremely professional each time we met and has promptly followed through on all the objectives on her individual employment plan. I have no hesitations in giving her my full endorsement that she will be a successful candidate and that she would get the position once training is completed." And that was so sweet, because I'm paraphrasing it, but that was so sweet because I did not anticipate him saying that. But every time, he asked me to do something, I did it. And it's just imperative to be a resource. As I mentioned, when you want training, just get the more complete stuff. When you show up and you execute and you provide everything that's in the packet for every single training or anything that you request from training, they can serve as an advocate. And what I'm saying right here is transferable to the private sector. Whether or not it's your own company's training, asking to go for funding to go to a conference, because this is summertime, so there's a lot of professional company and organization conferences, because people are out, the kids are out. And when you just submit all the stuff that's requested of you and you follow up, then the people on the other side can serve as advocates for you. Remember, training is a part of human resource. When you're in the corporate sector, and they can talk you up and they can get you the stuff that you need, and that's why paperwork is important. Oftentimes people feel that, okay, I just told the person to follow up and do a supplemental email. No, you have to put a packet together. You have to put the same packet for everything, for all the second and all the successive training requests that you have, along with your initial request. And what oftentimes happens is you complete the packet for the initial request, you come back, there's some money left over, and you ask for additional help. and you don't put the same packet together, which delays the request or it never gets processed at all. And that's why I'm using this episode of Work Adventures in Workforce Development. Paperwork is important to impart to you the importance of completing, of completion, of completing all the packets for everything that you want, so that you can have a better advocate in your training specialist if you so want to work through the Department of Labor, or in training officer if you work in corporate America, because you have to realize these people can serve as your advocates and your benefactors on your behalf and get you more than what you ask for when you go through and you complete it. As I mentioned before, in my situation with the county, I'm going through labor, so I'm going through federal. As I mentioned before, if you watched a couple of my other videos, I went through labor when I was in DC of getting my Idle 3 foundation in 2017. But, this is very important. Paperwork is very important. And I'm going to do another video about certain things, especially if you're in the government sector, of certain websites that you should be looking at when you do your paperwork, because I want to make sure that everyone is successful and that nothing gets rejected, because I want everything properly formatted. Like I mentioned, this episode is paperwork is important. That means formatting and putting everything you need to put in there is important too. So I would like to thank everyone for watching this installment, 5th episode of Adventures in Workforce Development. Paperwork is important. My name is Carla R. Jenkins, certified project management professional, certified Scrum Master and IDO with 13 years progressive problem-solving experience in project management, big data, and IT service management. You can get in touch with me at carlarjenkins.com/contact. I would like to thank everyone for taking out the time to watch my video. I'll see you in the next live stream video.